Hi there, welcome to Nauctis on YouTube.
Exporting and importing various types of livestock has become one of the industries that drives the global economy. But have you ever imagined how a ship can transport thousands of livestock across vast oceans? Behind the global meat trade, there is a fleet of specialized ships designed to transport livestock from one continent to another. One such ship designed for this purpose is the 𝗤𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 Uljanik shipyard in Croatia and first operated in 2002 by Rushira Ships Limited, based in the Marshall Islands. The ship has an overall length of 176.32 meters, a maximum width of 31.13 meters, and a depth of 14.54 meters. Registered in the port of Panama, this ship has a very large capacity, capable of carrying up to 60,000 sheep and goats and 20,000 cattle to major markets worldwide. Moreover, 𝗤𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗃 features main facilities consisting of 779 pens for sheep and goats and 1,416 pens for cattle. Given its size, it's no wonder 𝗤𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 is hailed as the world's largest livestock carrier. As for its propulsion, the livestock carrier is equipped with MAN B&W 7S50 MCC or 11060 kW engines, along with 4 additional units of MAN B&W 2x1280 kW and 2 units of MAN B&W 2Z1120. With this setup, the ship can cruise at a speed of 24 knots or approximately 44 kilometers per hour. Since its inception, 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 has delivered its cargo to various regions worldwide, including Malaysia, Indonesia, Mexico, China, Russia, Australia, New Zealand, the United States, Brazil, and Arab countries. To date, no other livestock carrier matches the facilities offered by 𝗤𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. However, it is estimated that the company will launch 2 more ships with facilities comparable to those offered by the livestock carrier within the next 2 years. The company plans to increase the capacity of these 2 ships so that they can each carry up to 18,000 sheep and goats, or alternatively 75,000 cattle. The construction of these 2 livestock carriers is estimated to require a total investment of $250 million. It should be noted that when designing a livestock carrier, livestock falls under the category of cargo. This makes it the only type of cargo that is truly alive. Unlike humans transported on passenger ships or ferries, which are designed and treated as passengers. However, 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 differs from other cargo ships. The ship's designers ensure that throughout the journey, all livestock remain alive and healthy until they reach their destination. Losing or having livestock die during the journey would result in losses in the business. Furthermore, voyages using livestock carriers generally last from 3 days to 3 or 4 weeks. Some may last for months if there are suspected disease outbreaks. Therefore, livestock carriers must ensure that various supplies such as food, water, sawdust bedding, medications, and others are always available to support the needs of the livestock on board. Essentially, there are 2 main subtypes of livestock carriers, open and closed. As the name suggests, open livestock carriers have a design where most or even all of the animal pens are installed on an open deck. In theory, this provides continuous natural ventilation to the pen area and avoids reliance on mechanical ventilation systems. However, in practice, natural ventilation is not sufficient for all situations. One clear limiting factor is following the conditions of the sea breeze when the air moves at the same speed as the ship. In such conditions, the natural airflow into the animal pens is insufficient. Therefore, most ships with open livestock pens are also equipped with various types of additional mechanical ventilation installed in critical zones, complete with backup equipment suitable for emergencies. Another main subtype is the closed livestock carrier, where all animal pens are placed inside the hull and inner decks of the ship. The advantage of this closed system is providing a more controlled environment, protecting the transported animals from harsh weather. However, ventilation in this system relies almost 100% on mechanical systems and construction regulations requiring specific ventilation standards for internal spaces. This entails establishing a minimum air change rate per hour and regulations mandating backup systems, as well as separate additional power arrangements from the main engine room. This is useful to ensure that adequate ventilation, lighting, watering, and feeding can be maintained for the animals, especially in case of fire or engine failure in the main space. There are several processes involved in exporting and importing livestock using these carriers, starting from the loading and unloading process, which is crucial in livestock export and import. Unlike container ships where cargo can be lifted using cranes, livestock to be transported using these carriers must be guided by competent personnel into their respective spaces in large numbers. These personnel also ensure that the livestock being loaded onto the ship are healthy and uninjured. To maintain the ship's stability, careful loading and unloading processes similar to other cargo ships need to be conducted. The livestock will be well arranged and each pen will be filled according to the required quota. Thus, there is no significant cargo imbalance at any point on the ship. These ships are also typically equipped with heeling levers to maintain the ship's balance. In the event of the ship tilting quickly to one end, the control levers must be large enough to create an equally large recovery moment. This is useful for returning the ship to an upright position. The livestock pens are arranged in rows, separated by corridors and designed to prevent overcrowding. The ship also has extra space allocated for larger-bodied livestock such as buffalo, male cattle, or thick-fleeced sheep. The livestock pens must have adequate space for aeration and ventilation, as well as access to sufficient feeding and water supply. Generally, the maximum size of pens inside livestock carriers can reach 40 square meters, with heights ranging from 1 to 2 meters. Regarding the ship's deck, the initial strength usually depends on the ship's size, quantity, and type of livestock being carried. The design of the floor deck must also be able to support a load 1.5 times larger per square meter. Moreover, the ventilation system within the pens must ensure proper functioning. For mechanical ventilation systems, there are usually openings and recesses for air circulation, ensuring smooth airflow and preventing the livestock from losing oxygen. Aside from pens and air ventilation systems, food and water supplies must also be considered. As a rule, raw materials are stored with a margin above 25%. The location of the feed storage is completely separate from the livestock pens. For large-sized ships carrying large quantities of livestock, water supply is usually provided through pipes that deliver clean water from freshwater tanks to the livestock pens. The ship is also equipped with water purification and filtration systems similar to those found on aircraft. In terms of electricity, livestock carriers may consume relatively high levels of electrical power. This is because they have to meet various needs ranging from lighting, ventilation, and aeration of pens to drainage pumping systems. All pens on the ship are equipped with drainage systems suitable for disposing of animal waste. According to MARPOL regulations, livestock waste or manure being transported on livestock carriers will be incinerated or stored in waste tanks. Ship crews are prohibited from discharging this waste directly into the sea to prevent potential ecosystem contamination. Previously, there was controversy regarding the deaths of around 900 cattle during the maiden voyage of a livestock carrier from Australia to Saudi Arabia. Following this incident, many questioned